Hello, my name is. For just took a moment. ADHD is not a disorder to me. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. I strongly believe that it's just the way we are wired differently. Because I used to go search on YouTube and just do my research, and then I came across a bunch of public speakers would say that it's not a disorder. It's okay. For example, 10,000 BC, we're in a tribe. Okay, and we're grunting to each other as a conversation, let's say, and then we hear something. It's instincts. We hear something, and we're not paying attention to them any longer because danger approaches. We crackling, that could be ice, or we hear breathing of an animal, maybe a saber tooth, stuff like that. And then so I'm very inattentive. I have a hard time having conversations with people, and I always switch from one subject to the other. I'm always so we're having a serious conversation, and then I'm thinking about a conversation maybe a couple days ago, and then I start answering questions to it and stuff like that. Things like that all the time. They happen a lot. Or I get this idea, and then I gotta get it out. Because I'm going to completely forget it. And then after I get it out, I forget it anyways. Losing keys all the time. Forgetting, it affects your memory. I don't know how many keys I went through in this apartment. I've lived here for a year, maybe 10 years. Maybe a couple lifetimes worth of keys. You know what I mean? I don't know how many keys I went through in this apartment. I've lived here for a year, maybe 10 years. Maybe a couple lifetimes worth of keys. You know what I mean? I struggle with day-to-day life, managing tasks and routines and stuff like that. It's tough because I want to do things. I want to feel good about myself all the time. I do now, because I've been doing psychotherapy before I started my meds, and then little things a day help me. Meditation, establishing a routine in the morning, cleaning, taking my meds, watering my plants, that helps a lot. Meditation, it helps you to put yourself in the moment. Because I would be sitting on my balcony, and I'd be looking at the view, and it was just so beautiful. I'm actually there. I love those moments. Those moments are beautiful because I'm experiencing life, and it helps you with your anxiety. It helps you to keep focused. Even my cousin was like, "You're more focused," and I'm like, "Yeah, I've been meditating." Yeah, it really helps. I do it a couple times a week, not every day, but it's still, yeah. When I start to feel anxiety, I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna meditate. Then meditate for 20 minutes to an hour. Hyperactivity and impulse. Hyperactivity is actually I can't sit still. I can't stand still. And if I stand still, I get dizzy. I don't know why. I do get dizzy sometimes. And I'm always moving my foot. I'm swaying my hips all the time. And I'm always touching something, or I'm just moving around, trying to moving around in my chair. I used to go to church, and then one of my friends, she was like, "Stop fidgeting, you're on live TV." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I start tapping my foot. Yeah, I absolutely love her. Impulse is very dangerous, very, very dangerous. Okay, so you have little or no mind to the danger that approaches, you're just gonna do it. In my experience, I could have died a couple times because I was very reckless. I made a decision and all kinds of stuff. Oh my goodness, terrible. But I've been doing psychotherapy, so my decisions have been making progress. I'm starting to reevaluate situations. I hold off on doing something for at least a week or two. Like, I was gonna go see my ex because I heard he was in jail, but then I held off on it for like a week. And I was like, okay, so I'm reevaluating the whole situation. Not a good idea. I would say my experiences and my struggles would be like school. School was a big struggle. I only had 3 grades when I was in grade 11. 3 grades. I mean 3 credits. In Canada, they call credits. I don't know about the States. And I was always drinking. I was always doing party stuff as a teenager. And it finally caught up to me. And I'm in grade 11. I'm like, everybody's gonna graduate and go to school. I'm gonna go to college. What am I doing? I never went to college though. And I guess what happened was I finally got to a place where I had help and structure. I started to reach out to people. I knew I struggled. So I moved to Futures program in North Bay. Yeah, I used to live there. And they helped a lot. I was always working out. I went to school. I had somebody telling me, you either go to school or go to work. I'm like, okay. I needed a place to live, so I went to school. So I went to school every day, and then I got 16 credits. Then I finally went to a high school. I wish I went a semester earlier, but that's okay. I graduated from high school because I did not want to be a statistic of somebody, of people not going to school, because you know how many people are ungraduated. That was my anxiety, my fear of becoming a statistic, and I couldn't live with myself. I've been struggling with my ADHD. I ended up going to drugs and stuff like that a couple years back, and then I've been sober, but then I had a little setback, but I'm sober again. And I find that alcohol calms down my mind. Yeah, and I will drink to an excessive amount. So don't use that as a remedy. Okay? I am not saying go drink to calm down your mind, because it's gonna end badly. Because you're trying to cover up a symptom. That's what I was doing all the time. Just trying to cover up a symptom. Okay, so let's talk about hyperactivity. What hyperactivity is when you're interested in something, you will spend hours and hours and hours doing it. It could be, I was hyperactive doing my schoolwork for a bit, but then I kept struggling with it, so I just stopped doing it. Music, I always sing, and then there's days where I just don't want to do it. But I make sure I do it at least a couple times a week. And then sometimes I do it at the end of the day because I've been procrastinating to do it. And being hyper focused it's a gift. It's like a superpower. It's a good strength I have because I enjoy music. I enjoy I always binge on YouTube sometimes, even. So managing symptoms. You can do it. I believe in you. I completely believe in you, because if I can do it, you can do it too. So today I started my first dose of my medication. I'm more focused. I would say that's the instant effect, but it's small. It's a small. But over time, I'm gonna be more focused. And the instant reaction I felt was I noticed that I was more focused. I was like, "Whoa, this is magic. This is a magic pill. It's a stimulant." There's a bunch of side effects. I guess he doesn't want me to go on a controlled substance, but like a controlled substance, it could be there's instant effect, and then there's slow release. For my case, I would go on slow release because I can abuse it. I'll give an update on like how it's working, like maybe my last video of my 30-day challenge. Okay, so let's talk about my experience with keeping jobs. I've had at least 15 to 20 jobs in my lifetime. That is intense. That's scary. The only job I was able to keep was for 9 months, and then they laid me off and never asked me to come back. I was like, oh, okay, so I did something wrong. But anyways, and then it's, I guess, like with keeping focused is a hard task for me, and it is very, like, keeping focused. I would always, like, I'm thinking about something, then I start going slow and very slow, and then like I like working in the kitchen, right? It keeps me busy, but I get slow because I'm just like starting to think about something, daydreaming, and then my boss would notice that, and then it's like, hey, you're working slow. I'm like, sorry, my bad. And keeping a job is more like, I don't know, I have a, like, they call it multitasking, but it's actually switching task to task. It's not that there's no such thing as multitasking. I can actually multitask, like real multitasking. I can brush my teeth and brush my hair at the same time. I always had trouble switching from task to task. I always forget a whole bunch of things, and then, like, yeah, my memory was pretty bad. But this is a way to improve your memory, and it absolutely works. It works so good. Like, I started to remember names. I started to remember a whole whack of stuff, and all things I wanted to do, and all things I was thinking about, and all that. I was like, wow. So you get a deck of cards. Okay, and then you just try to remember. I was at 4 cards. You try to remember all the cards, the color, the shape, and if it's club, hearts, and blah blah blah. And then, like, I would take a picture of it, and then I'll put my phone down, and then I'd be like, okay, so this one first, and then this one was second, third, and fourth, and so on, right? And yeah, that started helping. And another way to improve your memory is to what's that called? Blindfold yourself, because you're using your senses, your smell, touch, listening, and then you'll start to hear stuff too, like hear things like far away, like even more clearly, and you can hear conversations. But I don't recommend listening to conversations because some of them are just whacked. What else? There's another one. Oh, grab a handful of change, put it in your pocket, and try to guess which one it is. That's a good way to do it too. And oh, this is the best one. This is the best one. I love this one. Before you go to bed, before you pass out, think about everything you did that day, and go through every moment. I usually fall asleep by the evening. that helps you. It helps your neurotransmitters to, like, expand and stuff like that, and start connecting more, almost like a baby. You know how babies, that they say the neurotransmitters are more connected and stuff like that, and they're like sponges. It's kind of like that, yeah. And that's what happens. That's a great way to improve your memory, and it has helped a lot. Yeah,